Hey everybody, this is Dale.
This is Eric.
And welcome to the Transformers Beast Wars podcast.
You can find it at optimusprimecast.com.
This week, episode number 21.
Possession.
Written by Ian Weir.
And directed by Owen Hurley.
This week, Waspinator is possessed by the spark of Starscream.
This is a good episode. I have actually two alternate titles.
Mm-hmm.
The first one is Possession is 9/10 of the Law. And the second one is Motherflippin' Starscream!
I'm with you. I literally did not take any notes during this episode. I was far too I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it so much.
It was good. It was very good. Very good.
Yeah,
and
you know,
I think the director Owen Hurley, we've seen him before on a previous episode. I remember the name Hurley.
Okay. Yes, I remember the name too. I wonder if we like that one too.
I'm not sure.
Okay, either way, this one was good.
Yes, it was.
And that was something that was just enjoyable. Like it was action packed, tons of stuff happening all the time, and then by the time you know it, like I took like literally like 3 lines of notes, and most of them were Air Razor. Air Razor.
Yeah.
The other thing,
we'll get to those in a minute. So we open up
in
with
space.
the scenic shot of some type of energy ball kind of floating through and flying through the cosmos.
Which, if you habitually watch a Beast Wars episode every week for now 21 weeks, you would recognize as a spark.
Yeah. I to be honest, I didn't.
yeah. No, it's okay.
But
yeah, that's the thing that's in the middle of the liquid metal body.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the
I
spark.
assume that it's in the middle, or because the spark dies. The spark is the soul basically of the thing. With the
I
stuff,
don't know if their spark chambers are in
That's
different spaces, but yes.
all right. Well, in any case,
Yeah.
so yeah, it's flying through space. It kind of finds Earth, and then yes, I'm still gonna go with it, even though that you spoiled it for me.
Yeah. It finds some strange primitive world.
Some strange primitive world.
Strange primitive binary moon world.
And we
cut
start
to the Maximal
cutting to the
base.
Maximal, and I guess they're having an energon storm.
Yeah, there's an energon storm happening, and the ship is getting messed up.
Yeah, it's wreaking havoc, and they're like, ATM!
Yeah.
Get everything in the fruit cellar!
Yeah, they were getting everything in the fruit cellar. They were like, They were like taking apart all the guns. They were taking
apart all the guns,
taking
and all
the
weapons,
ammunition out, so
putting
that
it down in the
things didn't.
basement.
Oh man.
They're putting it down the fruit cellar. Which is, I don't know. But for me, it just kept on like, okay, the way that it would go is like, okay, they're putting it in the basement or the fruit cellar. You got Wizard of Oz, fruit cellar, and then all of a sudden it was just Evil Dead.
Yeah.
Swallow your soul.
Oh my God, you're right. Yeah. Starscream is turned Waspinator into a Deadite.
Yeah. So anyway, before we get to that,
Oh, sorry.
So we get back. We're going back and forth on the Maximal base. The Maximal's like, all right, this is a really heavy energon storm. Get everything in the cellar. We're gonna hold off until like anything happens. And then the same, some other stuff is kind of happening over on the Predicon base, over at the Darksyde.
Yeah.
We have they're going through. They're saying it. We have
Waspinator sitting at a console.
Yeah, and Waspinator should know not to use electronics during a storm. That's the moral of the story.
Oh, Rat Trap was doing it.
Don't use electronic. Oh, just because your friends are doing it, Dale. But Waspinator is checking on some monitor, and then all of a sudden he gets shocked.
Yeah, he gets a shock, but it doesn't happen quite yet.
No.
The thing doesn't happen. He has his first shock.
He has his first shock.
Yeah, his stuff the stuff isn't working well.
And then
And he's getting mad at his machine, and Megatron.
He gets knocked back, and Megatron's like, "Give me a status report, whatever, what's your status?" And he's like, and Waspinator's like,
yeah.
"I'm okay." And he's like, "Not you." It's like, do I even care about you ever? No. Because nobody liked Waspinator.
Nobody cares about Waspinator.
Waspinator rules.
Switch out his insides. Waspinator rules. So he does that, and then he has to basically just go back to work. Is that really the thing? It's like, okay, yeah, your computer just almost killed you. Now go back to your computer and
get
work.
back to your post. So some more just like talking about the storm and how bad this is and everything else.
Do we go back to the Maximals first?
There was a shot of Starscream actually kind of hovering over one of the lightning antenna over the.
Yeah. Him entering the Darksyde through the electrical circuitry.
So then we go back to the Maximal base, and they're doing kind of like a damage report after the storm. They're like, well, the whole perimeter off of that one side named with a letter or number.
Oh, they said like Southwest.
Okay. I thought it was like Zone 7 or something.
It might
Sector
have been.
7.
Might have been something like that. The lava pits. Then. So half of the ship is totally unguarded. There's no surveillance.
There's no surveillance.
But they have but they do have surveillance on the other side.
Yes.
So they're going to go guard and repair the side that is not surveilled.
Surveyed.
Surveyed?
Surveilled? Surveilled or surveyed? I don't know.
I think surveilled.
Surveilled. And let us know in the comments.
Yeah. So they've made that decision.
Yeah, and they start working on stuff, and then
we're back on the dark side.
We're back on the dark side.
on the dark side.
And where we have this Waspinator's having this very hand flappy moment and getting like crazy.
It's very mad
interview.
at his machine,
The what you call it, the interference or whatever. It's like, but I can't do anything. And then
he did that
quite like that. And then we have this Poltergeist moment.
Yeah, it was Carolyn. They're here. Yep. And his screen blows up in his face.
It goes all snowy, and then all of a sudden it explodes, and then knocks him back. He's like covered in electrical energy or whatever.
Yeah, and he disappears, and nobody checks up on him, right?
Nope, nobody does.
And then eventually later on,
he reveals himself
because Megatron's like, "Where is Waspinator?"
Yeah, and then he walks up and starts talking. It's Starscream. It's Starscream talking, and he does this very like I don't know, horror movie type thing where he walks in, he's standing there in a heroic pose, and then the lightning strikes or whatever.
Yeah.
And there's a flash of Starscream.
Like one frame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, and then in case if you missed it, he's Starscream.
Yeah.
No, seriously, he's Starscream.
And if you didn't know that, he introduces himself as Air Commander Starscream of the Decepticons.
Air Commander Starscream of the Decepticon Battle Fleet!
Also known as Bob.
Yes. Or the Enzyme commercials a few years ago. And so he goes in, and everybody's incredulous.
Yeah, everyone's like, whoa, what's that?
Hold it, you're ancient history.
This is impossible.
Ancient, yes. History, no!
Yeah, and he starts boasting about how he met his end.
Yeah, how he
was heroically trying to defend Galvatron.
But against the giant Transformer Unicron.
Yeah, and then Unicron blasts him away. And
that's how he died.
And that's my story.
Yeah, and he's sticking to it. And that's the point at which you're like, as a viewer who has seen the Transformers movie, you're not looking at it for the first time. If you're like, hold it, that's not what happened. Are they changing the timeline? What are they doing? What are they doing?
For me, it's been such a long time since I've seen that movie. I actually had to go, wait a second, did that actually happen? I think that may have happened.
No, it happened.
It was tricky me. So I can only imagine.
Did it happen in the comic books? And I didn't know. Darn. Well, in the movie, what happens is Starscream's coronation, at his coronation ceremony, where he has the flowing purple cape and the crown, he's doing that, and Galvatron flies in on his new private jet. What's his name? I don't know, his big purple private jet, who was made out of an Insecticon. So anyway, an Insecticon was destroyed and reformed into Scourge, or either Scourge or somebody else. But anyway, Galvatron shows up and just kills Starscream pretty much outright.
Yeah,
it's actually a pretty short.
It's
short
very
scene.
Anticlimactic. It's just boom.
Yeah,
done.
it really well. It's one of those things that like really showed the ruthlessness of Galvatron, like complete and total ruthless Galvatron.
Yeah, you don't mess with Nana Nimoy.
Yeah, no, you don't. You don't. No. Especially when he's working with Orson Welles.
Yeah.
But so you either do or don't know that as the viewer. So either way, it's interesting.
Yeah.
So, but I was like, hold it, they're not. I thought this was part of the G1 continuity. If it is, then that can't be true. So anyway, moving on.
There's the big speech. He's like, "This is what I do. I did all this other stuff."
Oh, yeah,
and then Megatron. He's like, "What are you doing here? Then what do you want?"
Yeah, I came to pledge my loyalty to the great Megatron.
All hail Megatron.
All hail Megatron.
Says Starscream. And Megatron says, "I don't believe you."
Yeah, what can you do? And he wants to be a lieutenant. He wants to be second in command.
Yeah.
He wants to Starscream.
So to answer your question from all the episodes before, like,
who is
Starscream in this series? It's Starscream.
Yeah. I know. Yep. Starscream is the Starscream of Beast Wars, which is awesome.
So like he's like, "Yeah, what can you do for me?"
It's like, I can show you how to crush the Maximals and win the Beast Wars once and for all.
It's like, oh, okay. Another thing that I kind of found funny there is like, how does he know that the Beast Wars are actually a thing? He just sees 2 bases.
Yeah, I know. He knows.
He wasn't like floating like he wasn't.
He wasn't hanging out before for a very long time. We
Yeah.
just saw him arrive from space. How did he get all this information so fast?
Yeah, and then
Specifically because of reasons.
because of reason, Black Arachnia goes and gives them a history lesson about the previous wars, the big wars, and everything.
Yeah, the Autobots are the ancestors of the Maximals. The Predicons are the descendants of the Decepticons, and Starscream was a lieutenant in that war, second in command of Megatron.
So they decided to okay, give him a chance.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, well, what would you recommend? He's like, okay, well, see that side with a big hole in it? Yeah, that's the biggest opportunity. He's like, we should attack. And he's like, well, that's obvious. And he's like, I know, that's why we should attack. The other side. See what I did there? Yeah. Yeah, glad you made me lieutenant. Yeah, thought so.
Yes.
So they do.
And they win.
They win. They were very successful. It was a very quick fight. It was like barely any shots fired.
Yeah. The Maximals had to retreat pretty quick. For some reason, Starscream is much better at piloting Waspinator's body than Waspinator is.
Waspinator is. And even his body.
Yeah.
There's a comment that made. It's like, how could he possibly fly that way?
Yeah. Where
like,
did he learn those moves?
I was the Air Commander, Starscream!
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, God. Really? Okay. But yeah, I mean, he was very typical fly, buzzing around, very sharp.
Yeah, really,
forth,
really sharp turns and too quick.
Yeah.
Super quick.
Also, another fun thing is that Starscream Binator was Starscream Binator.
Wasp Scream.
Whipper. Wasp
Screaminator.
Waspreminator.
Starspinator.
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 Starspinator. Scream. The guy.
What's he talking about?
He has
Decepticon logos. Yeah, etched in the sides of his head, which were
freaking
awesome.
cool.
That's
really cool.
There was so much time spent on like detailed close-ups of Waspinator in this episode.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, like, I don't recall any of the amount of detail that they put in it. Like, I mean, we keep on mentioning like little milestones here and there as we come across them, like in the animation quality or the filming quality and all this other stuff. And like in this episode, there was just like huge ramp up from what we've noticed in the previous episodes of like the texturing, the models themselves, and like the detail that they put in.
I would figure that they would dump a bunch more resources into an episode that featured something from G1 because of the fan base, etc. Itself.
Okay, that makes sense.
It'll be like, this is going to be the one that everybody's going to want. This is up to this point. This is the one that everybody wants to see.
Okay, so there's others?
Because Starscream is in one. That.
I mean, he's not really kind of
there. Aspects of season 3. You saw. You saw.
I saw a thing.
You saw a thing 20 years ago.
I saw a thing.
Yeah.
Not 20 years ago.
I know.
I saw a thing sometime a long time ago.
Yeah.
In a galaxy far away. Mm-hmm. And on a planet that might be a primitive,
some strange
unknown,
primitive
strange world.
Yeah. But there are things. There are certain reasons to put more into an episode. Like even just like like they didn't just recycle use the regular Waspinator model. Aside from the fact that they had to do so much close-up, detailed, photography of it.
It was a beautiful job.
Yeah, the textures were great.
Like,
the detail of that
this episode
and that Decepticon logo was really subtle.
Yeah,
it wasn't all up in your face.
No,
did
it wasn't.
You notice?
And I noticed for the first time that Waspinator has teeth.
Like
I never noticed that he had teeth.
I have noticed that he has had teeth. I have never seen him talking that close before.
Yeah,
and that is disgusting. He's got this like 3-mouth thing going on. His mandibles move independent of his jaw. Well, they all move together, but they move in the different directions. So it's like half of a predator face.
Nice. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, it's like it's just like the sideways flapping, the flapping of the face flapping that Waspinator does in this episode. You know what else I noticed?
Huh.
One of the few notes that I took was Pterosaur has 3 lines in this whole episode. And the reason why is because Pterosaur's voice is the voice of Starscream. Because his voice is the high-pitched, scratchy tenor.
There are a couple of moments where I did see the likeness, but I was like, they wouldn't have really...
The original voice actor of Starscream had passed away.
Oh, that's
yeah,
sad.
so they couldn't get him back, and Pterosaur stepped up and did it, and he did a great job.
Yeah, I barely noticed.
Mhm.
I mean, and granted, it's been a long time since I've seen G1. He has a very distinctive voice.
Yeah.
So, like, I mean, it was ingrained in my head over the many, many years
Oh
ago.
yeah, definitely. And the thing is, like, the delivery that dude did, I forgot his name, and I'm sorry, but it was great because it really does capture that arrogance.
Yeah.
That Starscream always had.
Great job at acting, great job at delivery, like, solid performance. So, the fight doesn't last long because all the weapons are in the fruit cellar.
Yeah, they can't really fight back very much.
So, Dinobot gets hit. Prime's like, let's get out of here. And then they start heading out. And then Rat Trap's like,
You don't have to...
you don't have to tell me twice, let's get out of here.
No, he says, you don't have to teach this rat how to abandon ship.
Oh, yeah, don't know how to abandon ship. It's like,
abandon a sinking ship?
yeah. What happened to, like, gung-ho
Yeah, shouldn't he
Rat
be
Trap?
surfing on something? Shouldn't he be jumping on a missile that's shot at him and, like, flying away on it?
Something? I don't know.
Yeah.
But he keeps on flip-flopping back and forth from, like,
His
I'm
character.
awesome,
Yeah,
too.
I was a miner and a garbage man and a scientist.
And a secret spy, but I'm going back to this.
So the Maximals retreat,
Yeah.
and then here comes Airazor to save the day.
No, before
What?
that,
What happens?
So Prime, like, grabs Dinobot by the tail. He's like, Prime Jet's Max, or Max
Prime
Burn.
Jet's on, Maximum Burn, yeah.
Yeah, and he goes out and he does the Superman pose, and he like collides. His fist collides with Pterosaur's face.
Yeah, oh yeah, that was a great shot.
And there's like
And
no sound effect or anything like that. It just like squashes his face.
The way
like,
the Pterosaur's face deforms.
it's like all the old Marvel comics that you see, like the really gruely ones back in the 90s and stuff, the really dark ones with a lot of gore.
Yeah.
Like where Superman or someone
Oh, like Death of
punches another guy.
Superman, yeah.
Punches a guy in the face and it just goes right in their face and
Yeah.
it's all bloody. Like the fist is just in the face.
Yeah.
The face doesn't really deform so much as the face goes in, the hand goes into the face. Takes the place of where the face was the fist.
Yeah.
I'm gonna swap this and phrase this so many different
face
times.
is not a face anymore.
No, it's part of a fist.
It was part of a fist. Yeah.
It's part of a fist. A fist face, one would say.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that
It was like a
like
hot ice cream scoop.
You ever squeezed a fistful of Jell-O?
Now I'm hungry. Yeah, it really was like that. It was kind of brutal.
It was
kind of
funny, too.
seriously brutal.
And then we get, like, after they leave, we have Airazor.
Yeah, and then Airazor pulls up. I don't even know what she says, but it was like she pulls up and says, the base is under attack? The Maximals are retreating? I better go tell Tigertron.
Yeah.
I better not stay and help.
Yeah. Like, up to this point, like, the funny thing is like, up to this point, we have seen, like, instance over and over and over again of how much Airazor kicks butt.
Yeah, she
Like,
should have
my
been
God.
able to just take care of this whole thing, shouldn't
Yeah, like, really easy 1-2.
Yep.
But she's like, oh, wow, they're in trouble.
Yeah.
I better go tell Tigertron.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I guess she has a thing for Tigertron.
Yeah. Yep.
She's like, oh, I need to go tell him.
Mm-hmm.
So she just leaves.
Yeah. She's like, I'm out of here.
Yeah, she just turns around.
There's a battle going on. I'll go. I'll just go. I'm going to Siberia. I'll go to post-apocalyptic Vegas.
But yeah, so she just leaves, and then it was like all hail Megatron and Starscream.
Yes. Yep.
The battle has been won. You've
battle
been
has been
victorious.
won,
You've
yep.
proven yourself in battle.
Yep. Here, have a base.
Have a base.
As your reward, have this mostly functional base.
Yeah, because there was
I'm
concern
afraid
that was like
your friends will find this space station fully operational. Yeah, so Megatron has Black Arachnia and Scorponok stay with Starscream.
Yeah,
And Pterosaur. Stay in that's where Pterosaur has his second line in the Axalon.
Starscream? How come he gets promoted?
And Scorponok is like, why do I? Oh, was it? Everybody's complaining a little bit.
Yeah, everyone's kind of complaining.
Well, Pterosaur's like, well, why does he get promoted so brr?
I love you. I know the things I do for you.
And then
Treat me like this.
And he's like, well, guess he has proven his worth. Yes. And then he pulls Scorponok aside right in front of Starscream and says, keep an eye on him. I don't trust him. We're all pleased with him right now, but keep an eye on him. And then they like part ways. They walk away from each other, and Starscream's just standing there.
Yeah,
across the table from them. It's not like they did anything to...
I could hear you!
This is really bad direction!
Oh, but yeah, it was good. It was good. So they split up.
Mm-hmm. Megatron goes back with the
Megatron
rest.
goes back with the rest. And then all of a sudden, like, we cut to the Maximals, and they're like, well, what are we going to do?
Yeah, they're out in the jungle nursing...
Yeah,
the jungle. They're out in the jungle nursing Dinobot back to health.
And Dinobot's giving them a hard time.
He was like,
we
we should have stayed and fought to the bitter end.
But it's like, how were you supposed to do that with your weapons gone?
Yeah.
They're all in the fruit cellar.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they had crazy butt guns and stuff, but...
yeah. But yeah, they bugged out. And then Prime admittedly said, yeah, we should have.
No, he says, yes, it would have been bitter.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, I didn't catch that.
Yeah, he was like, we weren't going to win that. We were totally unprepared for that thing that was happening back there.
It's kind of, well, it kind of ties back into like the Power Surge episode, where Prime's like, no, we're going to blow up that mountain. I'm not carrying all you guys around.
Yeah,
We're not going to do all this other stuff. No.
Do you have any idea how much work that would have been for me? You guys suck.
And then, while they're talking like that, we cut to Airraiser again.
Yeah, who is again useless. My notes say Airraiser. Airraiser?
She flies over to Tigatron. She's like, Tigatron, guess who took over the base?
And then flies
away, not saying anything. Like, who?
Yeah, what? Huh?
What is there some sort of concern? Should we get our bags together and go do something maybe? Of the shooting, perhaps?
Yeah, it's like, you'll never guess what happened.
And?
So that happens. And then the... do the Maximals go back to base now? Oh, no. Black Arachnia discovers Starscream's true nature. Or exposes what?
Not quite. We cut back to the coup that's going on with the Maximals, and Cheetor's very concerned. Like, out of everything that's happening, Cheetor's biggest concern is, I could just tell that one of them's in my room now, messing with my stuff. It's like, well, you got things that you don't want them to get into.
What is Cheetor doing? Here's something for the
Don't go to my room.
This is you can post links to your fan fiction at the Facebook page. What is in Cheetor's room that he doesn't want the Predicons to see? Are they sexy pictures of Megatron?
Yes. Or maybe it's Black Arachnia because she stepped on his face that one time.
That's true.
He's into that sort of
and
thing.
And Cheetor says his name correctly. He said Cheetor in this episode and everything. I was so excited.
Nice.
They pull out all the stops.
Correct pronunciation.
Yep. Correct pronunciation. Timeline integration. Oh, fantastic. So the Maximals are going back to base.
Dragon.
But we don't know that.
Tails tucked in their.
And their tails are tucked in, but Black Arachnia has to have confronted Waspinator by now. This is when Black Arachnia is talking to Starscream.
Yeah, because they're pulling up, and he's like, "Whoa, they're back or whatever." It's like, "No, let them in or whatever." She's like, "What do you mean?" It's like, "Well, with them, we can take over."
No, but before then, she's like, "Starscream, that's not how you died."
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get to.
Sorry.
That was awesome. Yeah, no, it's all right. Yeah, because
take it away, Dan.
Yeah, because she says, "Hey, I've read your files." The Maximals haven't read his files because they're classified by the Maximal Council.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then Dinobot's like,
fools. But Black Arachnia says, "You were killed by Galvatron." Not by Unicron.
Well,
you were...
you see...
you were highly deceptive. But Optimus Primal does know that. He doesn't have the information of how he died. Or why his spark was out in outer space.
Mm.
But he did know, he was saying that Starscream was like the most notorious traitor.
Well, that's what Dinobot was saying.
Oh, was it Dinobot saying that?
Yeah,
It
Dinobot was saying that. He's like, I studied, your things were classified, but I studied all the major military files and all this other stuff or whatever.
Ah.
And I've come to find that he's not a trustworthy individual. He's very deceptive and,
Megatron might have bitten off more than he can chew.
maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Black Arachnia confronts him. He's like, so the jig is up. Why didn't you out me to Megatron? And then she says that...
Spiders be spiding.
Yep, spiders be spiding. And so she's like, I thought you might make me a better offer. So then he's taking her on as his protege.
Yeah.
Now who's the Starscream of the Beast Wars? Dun, dun, dun.
It's still Starscream.
Yes. So... Then the Maximals are approaching,
Yes.
and they go out to meet them. And Optimus Primal says, "We have come to surrender."
Commercial break.
Commercial break. Yeah, cut to commercial. And then, and this is when Starscream delivers his first lesson number 1.
Show compassion.
To something, to further your own motives.
Yeah, to
hide your.
To hide your own, to conceal your own motives, or to further or hide your own
sound
motives.
clip.
Lesson 1. Always show compassion. It's a useful cover for your true motives.
So the terms are Dinobot needs the rejuve chamber. And Optimus says, "We'll do whatever you want."
Yeah.
In return.
Yes. And so Starscream's like, "Okay, lock him up in the fruit cellar."
yeah. Strip his weapons down, disarm him, and then make him transform back into an animal,
and then lock
him up. Kind of sound reasoning.
Yeah.
If the what was it called, The Wild? The episode where they were stuck in beast mode for too long.
I was going to say, what, that really horrible movie that came out in like 2007 with Kiefer Sutherland and Eddie Izzard?
No, because I didn't see it. But no, because before then, they weren't all beastie. They were like useless in beast mode.
Yeah, they were.
Optimus Primal would not have been able to bust out of them chains before. I think.
I don't know.
He wasn't too bad of an ape.
But then again, like, how would Starscream know that?
Maybe he's read the script.
Well, that's
he knew that there were he knew there were Beast Wars happening. Maybe he watched all the episodes. So,
damn you, Starscream!
So they got Dinobot in the rejuve chamber. Optimus Primal is chained up in the basement. And then Starscream commands the Maximals to go attack the Predicon base. And this is where I find a little bit of problem. I'm trying to figure out what is Starscream's motivation. What is his plan now? Other than having the Maximals attack the Predicon base. Is it so that
he could use the Maximals and the Predicons that he has under his control to overthrow Megatron, as Starscream does.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Then take over everyone and be the ruler over everyone.
Well, we're like 5-6 guys.
10.
Yeah, 10. Well, yeah. Would the Maximals stay? How would he maintain power in such a small group?
Oh, Starscream's delusional, man.
Yeah, I guess.
Starscream's not screaming up in the sky.
He's got problems. Do you see the episode of G1 where they had a bunch of Energon cubes and the Decepticons literally got drunk?
No.
They're like drinking Energon cubes, and Megatron's like, "Oh, this good old Cybertron. I miss the good old days."
Party!
And then,
Energon headstands!
Yeah, they're like, "Oh man, energy!" And then they all pass out drunk.
Wow.
Yep. We'll get there on another episode of a different podcast. But anyway. So yeah, Starscream delusional. Okay, so he's got them attacking the Predacon base, and they're actually trying.
Yeah.
They're actually trying. Rattrap and Cheetor are sneaking. They're doing the Metal Gear Solid, the first level of Metal Gear Solid with the spotlights.
On the broad... Yeah.
In broad daylight.
In broad daylight in the wide open. There's nothing to cower behind and nothing to blend in on the ground with.
Yep, and they aren't even like they're not the lights don't even shine on them. They shine next to them. So I was actually expecting for nothing to happen. I was expecting them to say, "Oh, roll over."
Yeah.
Do that. Do the rolling move from Metal Gear Solid 4, where you're laying down and you can roll to the side. Just avoid the thing. And all of the guns on the Darksyde aim down at them, and then they both yell, "Rhinox!" Who is already shooting his ridiculous Gatling guns of doom.
It's like, shoot harder, damn it!
Yeah, shoot harder, shoot over here. What do you want?
So they get up and they run back, and at this point, like, we have Megatron basically finding out like what was going on, and he's like, "Starscream!"
Is that what's happening at this point?
I think so.
Okay. Possibly. No.
Oh, he just thinks that the Maximals are attacking.
Yeah, he just thinks that the Maximals are attacking. Then we cut back to the Axalon, where Optimus just busts out of those chains. He busts out off of the wall, opens up the thing, and Cheetor's butt gun is in there?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, why did you have Cheetor's butt gun? Is this what you didn't want the Predicons to see? So anyway, why does Optimus have your butt gun? So Optimus does that, and then he sneaks up and gets the drop on Dinobot and Black Arachnia.
Correct.
Is this before or after Scorponok is like, "Oh, you're a traitor! Eyebrows!"
I think that's after.
You think it's after? Yeah.
Because Scorpion, they're on top.
And
when he sends them away to go attack the Predicon base, Scorponok's like, "Oh,
you couldn't be trusted. I'm second in command."
And then he gets blown away.
Yes. Yeah. Then he gets shot comically.
And he dies.
Yes. We'll miss you, Scorponok.
But yeah, and then we come back. We'll go back inside. We're bouncing all over the board.
The episode is too good. You got to just go watch it. It's fun. It's a really good episode.
So Primal jumps out. He's like, and he finishes their sentence. I can't remember what they're saying. He's like, "Rule 1 is to."
Oh yeah, he said rule number 2. What was rule number 2?
Well,
it was in response to Starscream giving lesson number 2. Lesson number 2.
They're always more gullible than you'd hope.
And then Optimus says,
Lesson 3. Disregard lessons 1 and 2.
And then he shoots and he blows up the console.
He blows up the console, and then Starscream says, "Hey, we could take him. There's 2 of us, 1 of him. Let's do it." And then Optimus says, "Well, let's even up the party, or let's make it a double date."
Let's make it a double date. And then he shoots the regen chamber.
So is Dinobot his date?
I guess.
All right.
I was waiting for Starscream to say, "That's okay. I'll just stay here with this lady."
Yeah. No, 3's a crowd, man.
But yeah, and then they start fighting, and then
Dinobot hops out of the rejuve chamber, and then Starscreaminator. He's just like, "Well, it's been a slice. I'll see you later." See you later. Yeah, he retreats pretty much immediately.
Yeah, he does. It's typical for Starscream.
Yeah, that's what he does.
And then Black Arachnia is like, "Oh,
oh, you."
Yeah, awkward. Hey
that.
guys, thanks for the help. Yeah. And then she shoots her grappling hook up into the hole in the roof of the Axalon, which I can only assume she latches onto Starscream.
Yeah, well, next time we see her, she is hanging from Starscream.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because she's clingy.
Yeah. Oh man. Bad news for Starscreaminator. But next time we see him, he's flying to the Maximals that are attacking the Darksyde, and he has her grappling hook in his hand. He's just holding it, and he's flying her over there, giving her a ride over there, and then
we have Cheetor and Rat Trap retreating at that point, and he starts ordering them. What are you doing?
What are you doing? Attack! Everybody was retreating. Yeah, Rhinox was like, "We can't do this. This is stupid. This is suicide.
What am I doing?"
Yep. And Waspinator's like, "No, attack! Attack!"
And then that's where Megatron's
like, "I should read more."
You would think with Megatron, I'm assuming Megatron's a direct descendant from the Megatron in G1.
No. It's just his namesake. He adopted the name Megatron.
Oh, okay.
It was given to him. You know that purple dragon transformer that I have?
Megatron?
No, the Megatron, the Transmetal 2 Megatron is red.
Okay, we're not talking about the Transmetal.
No.
Megatron is purple, bro. The purple dinosaur.
No,
Unless you're talking about
dragon.
your Barney Transformer.
No, I mean dragon with wings.
I don't recall.
Okay, I will show you him. His name is Cryotech.
Okay.
And he isn't introduced in the series at all, but he is in a short film done by fans, which is titled The Theft of the Golden Discs.
Oh.
Yeah, it is the prelude to the Beast Wars. It's what happened right before the Beast Wars.
Okay.
And, leading up to that escape. His role is expanded in the comics, but Cryotech apparently was this Megatron's...
Why do I know Cryotech?
The name has been used a few times by even other franchises.
I think Cryotech is like a fictional business. In
Yeah,
game.
we freeze
Cry,
you for
maybe?
later.
Cryotech? I don't know. Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I know. But Cryotech was this Megatron was Cryotech's protege,
Okay.
and Cryotech gave this Megatron the name Megatron.
That's seriously more lame than I ever thought would be.
Yeah. Like this Megatron was basically like a criminal.
I thought he was like Pedigree. You know?
No.
He's
No.
like Ferrari.
No, it's
It's got
like
a name and a legacy.
No, he's like
And a racing performance, which is somewhat not on par with where it used to be, but
No.
still pretty damn good.
No. It's more like he's a half-breed Death Eater.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's like a Voldemort, it's like, your father was a muggle. So, spoiler alert. So, that fight is a blur to me. How did that fight go?
Well,
that fight goes well because Primal comes up behind him.
Primal comes up behind him, and he's like, fight, and he's like, I don't think so. Things have changed. And then Rhinox is like, all right, well, let's do this. And he gets this big smile on his face, and it's like Rhinox has a thing for shooting Waspinator.
Yeah, this would be third. This would be the third time,
this
right?
would have been the third and fourth time that he's done this. But yeah, he picks it up, and Prime is like, no, he's mine.
Yep.
And then they start duking it out. They start fighting, a little bit of fighting, whatever, here and there. And, Megatron just doesn't do anything. He just kind of sits and watches, as Megatron does.
Yeah.
He likes to watch and talk on the couch.
Yes.
We're just talking. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's cool.
And
But
then,
yeah.
Waspinator ends up on his back.
He ends up on his back. He falls on his
kind
back.
of crawling back. They both draw on each other.
Yeah, and they're just sitting there and standing there, which I'm
But,
very surprised that
Optimus
Starscream
had
didn't shoot.
Optimus had his gun out already.
Yeah.
And then Waspinator pulls out his butt gun. So I was like, Optimus.
Not really Mexican standoff?
No, not quite. Not
No.
quite. Yeah. So they do that, and then Starscream's kind of backing up, and then he signals Black Arachnia to take out Optimus.
And she just shoots him.
Because he was he was backing up onto like a shard of energon that was sticking out of the ground. And she just shoots that.
Yeah. And so he's shorting out, and he's like, what? How dare you? You traitor!
Apparently her missiles are really, really not aerodynamic and slow. Or she was really, really far away and they were talking really, really, really loud. Because Optimus has enough time to say, hasta la vista, Starscream.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then Waspinator dies.
Yeah. Well, his body is gone. His body is gone. Apparently that explosion was enough to kick Starscream's spark back into outer space. Well, we see that in a minute. First, what we see is is there any resolution with the Maximals?
No, there's no need. They just head back to base.
Yeah, they're just out of there.
They're just out of there. And
Well, this was a wash.
yeah, and Megatron's like, I will have Starscream and Black Arachnia's hide for this. I'll melt them down and make them do a little bit of
that's
fighting.
right. Yeah, and Black Arachnia's like, look, I had to play along. He was Starscream. Look, I even defeated him
I
for
knew this was
you.
going to happen. I told you this was going to happen, Megatron. Did you listen to me? No. But what did I do? I saved you. That's what I did. Are you going to get mad at me? Are you going to get mad at me? That's fine.
What, you want to fight about it? So he's like, fine, grumble, grumble, grumble. And then they reassemble Waspinator's parts.
Yeah, and he's like...
Oh, the
doing
line
that.
of the show. The line
the
of the
line
show.
of the shows.
Waspinator has a headache in his whole body.
And that was just great. That was great. And they're putting his head back on, and then that's what we see of them. And then we go back to outer space where Starscream is saying, I will be revenged.
Yeah, and as he's flying away from obvious Earth is obvious. I mean, we see North America, we see South America, we see Africa.
We see 2 moons.
We do see 2 moons, but still. Oh, there is a little resolution with the Maximals.
Okay.
They're doing repairs and stuff, and I can't remember what they said. It's so, like, non-significant. It's whatever.
Yeah, this episode was not about them.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, whatever.
This was about Starscream.
It was something about Optimus was asking, Cheetor, what isn't he going to come inside? And I guess Cheetor was like, "Nah, I want to stay out here, looking for more constellations, for more stars. Starscream's out there." And then you see a shot of the moons, and the one looks like a normal moon. The other one looks like the actual, like the dark side of the moon or the reverse side of the moon. But it's odd because either the second moon is really, really, really dark in color, like the grain or whatever, the dust or dirt, the earth or whatever of the moon is really dark and non-reflective, or for some weird reason it's being shadowed, which doesn't make any sense. Anyway, sorry.
No, it's all right. It's all right. I like hearing you theorize about the other moon.
All right, but that was episode 21.
That was. I loved it.
It was really good. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it very much so.
Yeah, it was altogether too much fun. It was great to see. You know what, Starscream, this was the second time we've seen him. We saw a flash of him in the web.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
In Cheetor's fever dream.
In the fever dream.
So that was interesting. Like, I don't know if they were thinking about this episode when they did that episode.
I don't think so.
But
I think it was just eye candy.
Yeah. It was eye candy, but man, oh man, did it pay off. So
I think so too.
It was awesome to see Starscream.
Really,
I like seeing the stuff that ties it closely to the G1 continuity.
Yeah.
And especially if you become more familiar with the older episodes, you get more out of it. You see these things, and then even if you're, there's a guy who was brought in as a consultant. I've been to his website. I forget what it is. I'll see if I could find it. Maybe put a link in this week's show notes or next week's show notes. But he was called in to be a consultant not only on this episode but some of the other ones that basically whenever Waspinator goes crazy.
Okay.
This guy is the guy that they called to pump Waspinator into full of like interesting gibberish.
Well, that's a weird thing. Like, I mean, if we're gonna like spin the dice here, roll the dice, whatever. Insert analogy here of mixing things up. I mean, you mentioned a while ago about Cheetor being clairvoyant, which I wholeheartedly disagree.
Vaguely psychic, yes.
Shush. But earlier, when Waspinator was clobbered by Rhinox, when Rhinox was, Goth Ox, Waspinator thought he was an old G1 Transformer.
Yeah. He was like, I think he might have thought that he was Shrapnel. Or Kickback, or he was, or Bombshell. He was one of the original.
Insecticons.
Insecticons, yeah.
So it makes you wonder if maybe, I don't know, because like maybe Waspinator is a direct descendant of one of the Insecticons that he said he was possessed by, and there was a shard of like the spark of his predecessor that was coming in. I don't know, or maybe he's just kind of prone to be more susceptible to the floating sparks.
He's weak-spirited. He is weak-spirited. And weak-bodied. He gets blown up every few episodes.
Poor Waspinator.
Oh, man.
Anyway,
we're on the final countdown of the season.
Yeah, we're 3 episodes left.
Is it? We have 1 DVD left.
And thank you for all who contributed.
Thanks for helping.
We were able to pick up the DVDs to finish up this season.
If you haven't liked us on Facebook, we would really like it if you liked us on Facebook.
Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel and check out our Patreon page.
Yeah, check out the Patreon page for an opportunity to support us directly. And if you would like to support us indirectly, you can click on the Amazon link.
Which, the affiliate link, which we will list in the comments below, which you could basically just click on it. It takes you to the Amazon page, and anything that you buy there will, it doesn't cost you anything additional. It just tells Amazon, hey, that we sent you there, and they give us a little throwback on, a very tiny throwback on the purchases that help us along with the funds.
Darn tootin'. And if you like what you're hearing, if you could leave us a review at the in iTunes, that helps us get found better, like faster, when people are looking for Transformers podcasts. So those are all the ways that you could help us.
I've been Eric.
And I've been Dale.
And this has been the Beast Wars podcast.
The Transformers.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. You know what? Go ahead and take it.
Well, in the meantime, I've been Dale.
And I've been Eric.
And this has been the Transformers Beast Wars podcast.
Which you can find on OptimusPrimecast.com.
We'll catch you next week. High five.